Are we gonna trade for Sean Murphy here? Do we do it? We might. Oh boy. Before we go any further, we're going to look at some of the scouting report again to start today's episode off. We're looking at DeAndre Jordan right here, the number one ranked prospect by Major League Baseball, but we do not really see it. A catcher who can play right field. I guess how athletic he's going to be out there. He's going to be a catcher DH type. Fielding looks okay. Hitting looks all right. He's a guy that if he falls to us with the second pick, maybe. Obviously, that bonus demand would be insane for this type of player, but a decent guy, righty from California. He's okay, but not the number one pick on our preview. Daryl Parra, another guy we're looking at. We could potentially use him when it comes to the fourth pick. Again, we've been trying and searching for position players. This would be a good outfielder who has a decent bat. Really, his strengths lie in how athletic he is and also the fielding potential. Having a guy, again, playing center field and Coors Field, it requires really good speed, really good fielding. We think we can bring that on top of hitting lefties a decent amount, having good power as well at maybe Coors Field can help, and good walk in. He's not going to strike out a whole bunch. We really like what he has in terms of those plate skills. So a decent guy and definitely in play for number 4 depending on how the board goes. Another guy we're looking at in that number 4 spot, or maybe even if he falls to us later on, would be great. Stephen Takahashi, third baseman from Japan. A pretty solid bat overall against both sides. Favors power a little bit more and favors hitting against lefties obviously a little bit more. Plate skills are in a decent spot. His fielding would play. Is this a guy that we may move around? I'm not sure. But a guy with a good bat. Again, we're looking for position players to draft early. A guy who could be on our board. DeAndre Hiller, another dude we're looking at. We think he needs some work, but really good with the glove, really fast, really athletic. Maybe the bat can become something. At worst, I think it's going to be okay. At average is what everything's grading out to look like. So if you have an average bat, but a really good glove at shortstop, will take it, can move around the infield a bit. So a guy we're looking at mostly with that third round pick. We did lose our second round pick because we got Jazz. Sebastian Serrano, a sleeper pick. With our scouting on pitching of being a high focus, we see a lot of these sleeper picks. Not on MLB's board, but number 7 on ours. High strikeout potential guy at just 18 years old. 4-seamer slider, changeup, 2-seamer. Kind of gives me Bobby White type vibes. High strikeouts, doesn't throw the fastest, but also throws a little bit harder than him. Just doesn't have that curveball that Bobby has. But kind of in that same breath, a little bit taller, but a guy that we potentially get in later rounds. Another guy who's on our board, not on too many other guys' board, Jeffrey Tippett. Third on our board, 46 on MLB's. So maybe he lasts there. The third pick, not the third pick, or third round, but we'd probably have to get him with 4 if we were going to get him. Isn't going to strike out a whole bunch of guys, but does everything else well. Super high command guy. Not, the Greg Maddux thing's a little premature, but Greg Maddux type. Control over our strikeouts or velocity, but can really do everything well on the mound, and just 18 years old too. We have potential is really good on this guy. Changeup, slider, curveball. With that changeup, curveball being his best pitches, he can throw that fastball in the mid to high 90s. Now we're going to jump into a game against Seattle, where it's Jesus Luzardo who is on the mound for potentially a complete game shutout. Now Luzardo's been awesome for us. $12 million signed to him for the next 4 years. We love what he has brought to this team. Has been a little up, has been a little down, but having a fantastic start here is great from our ace, and that's what he is. We signed him up to be our ace. If only for a couple years, then that let it be what it may. But it was a win now move, a guy that we looked at and saw that he can make a difference. We didn't think we were too far off. We just wanted to give our pitchers some rest, and he's done awesome in really relieving that stress from the young guys. We've gotten some good starts from the young guys. We've gotten some good moments from them, but he's the guy who's been super, super, super consistent. And as I say that, gives up an absolute bomb to Ryan Bliss, who lasered that one in the left field. So shutouts down, but with a 6-run lead and his pitch count still being fine, we're going to let him out there and let him run through it. Luzardo has been great. Even if he's not going to get a shutout here, but he's still going to have a chance to pick up a 7-1 victory and go the full 9 innings. And with 89 pitches after this pop-up, he is in a good place to do just that. With our pitchers, and the good thing about having Luzardo as well is the guys on the roster, have a little bit of a cushion, but especially those guys in who we decide to call up. It isn't a frenzy to make everyone jump up a level or two they aren't ready for. They are going to get their time to marinate because we have a guy like Luzardo. Also, a cheap contract, too. $12 million a year for a really good starting pitcher is nothing. If we get to the point where all our guys are ready, maybe we do flip Luzardo. But I'm not even thinking about that other than me saying it, so clearly I'm thinking about it a little bit. He could be on the next playoff Rockies team, and he would be our guy to go game 1 in our first playoff series back. Does get the complete game, doesn't quite get the shutout, but a fantastic, fantastic performance by our man, Jesus Luzardo. Victory, yet again, for the Rockies. Unfortunately, we're going to make some roster moves, and the big roster move we are going to make is setting down Brennan Doyle and bringing up Sterling Thompson. We've talked about in the past that Brennan Doyle just isn't getting it done, and he just really hasn't been getting it done. So he's going to go down. Sterling Thompson is going to come up, and that's going to be the big roster move that we make here before our game with the Milwaukee Brewers. Into that game with the Milwaukee Brewers. They signed Juan Soto. They have a good team. We're playing in Milwaukee today. And also be a nice little Rhys Hoskins revenge game. About the same place record-wise at coming into this game. 32-41 for us, 34-40 for them. So another good benchmark against a team in our talent pool record-wise. I think they're a more talented team. Obviously have some really, really good guys, including maybe one of the best baseball players in the game in Juan Soto. And they got D.L. Hall on the bump, one of the main pieces in the Corbin Burn trade from a few seasons ago. He has a Dale Amador to start things off, and we are ready to go. First pitch outside for a ball. Again, 4.5 games outside the wild card for the Brewers. We're a couple, a game or two behind them, so you can imagine where we're at. Dale Amador, circle change on the outside part of the plate, goes gapping. He's going to be on second base standing up, and we have a leadoff, a double to begin things here against the Brewers. 12th double of the year for Dale Amador, and great start for Dale on the right side of the plate to begin things off against the lefties, and we have a man in scoring position before most fans are even in their seats. And that swing stays right through it. But we unfortunately couldn't do anything with the next two batters, but Teoscar Hernandez is going to get a slow roller over the third base bag and bring in the first run of the game for us. So the offense getting to work, getting a run on the board in the first inning, even though our next two guys couldn't bring home Amador. I would assume that was Tavar and Nolan Jones. Rhys Hoskins getting a revenge game from him, signed him from Milwaukee this offseason on the Josh Bell-esque contract and absolutely blisters that one to Juan Soto, who puts it away. And Teoscar Hernandez, the man to get us on the board. 2 hits and 1 run for the Rockies in that top half of the first inning. Chris Bubich is going to be the man that we send out there. 4.52 ERA, 55 strikeouts in 77 innings, a 2-6 record in 14 games started so far this year. Christian Yelich introduce himself early and get on lefty hits to begin the day for Christian Yelich. 103 back up the middle as well. He's a pure hitter and a guy that struggled at times, but has really come back and found that, not that quite that MVP form, but isn't a replacement level player like he was for a couple of years there. William Contreras, more than replacement level. He is one of the top hitting catchers in all the league, if not the top offensive backstop. He gets the Brewers on the board, matches the 1-1 score. He gets a double there. Nolan Jones sprawls out, gets into left field. Jazz Chisholm is going to come up firing. No advance on the runners. And Nick Castellanos, so I believe, has played for every single Central team in both the American and the National League. And if not, he's climbing the rankings there. Gets a single down the line. Jonathan India, former Red, current Brewer, 12 pitches into the outing for Bubic and gets the pitch he needs. 5-4-3 double play, and the Brewers do get a run thanks to William Contreras, but can't get any more despite 2 more hits other than his. So it's still 1-1 as we head into the second inning. Bottom 2 now. Tyler Black absolutely cranks one. It's going to split the gaps. Don Rafaela playing for Brenton Doyle, who we just called down before this game. He's going to field it, and it's going to be 2-1 Brew Crew, an RBI double for first base with a lot of potential, the Brewers think. That's why they let Rhys Hoskins go, so they can give most of the at-bats to Tyler Black here. Christian Yelich makes his way back up to the plate, and is going to go back up the middle again and kill Bubic yet again as he drives in the third run for Milwaukee. On an 0-2 count, softly hit up the middle. That has to infuriate everybody in Colorado, especially Chris Bubic, and it's 3-1. Bryce Terang, he's going to let that ball go, and he's going to let his teammate get hosed as Drew Romo comes up firing and gets Yelich trying to swipe second base. Nolan Jones is going to swing and miss that slider outside the zone to end the third inning for the Rockies, still 3-1. Top 4 now as we jump ahead. Teoscar Hernandez levels this baseball. This is going to bang right off his portrait out there in left field, and he'll be standing up on second base to begin the inning. Beautiful, beautiful piece of hitting for Teoscar Hernandez, and an absolute frozen rope. Speak about frozen ropes. Rhys Hoskins loves hitting in Milwaukee. This one almost climbs up out of here. Home run for Rhys Hoskins, ties the game up, and we signed him to give relief to Yanquiel Fernandez against left-handed pitchers, and Rhys Hoskins has been relieving. He has a great slash line, 5 home runs, limited at-bats, all against left-handed pitching, and takes that high fastball and deposits it against the backdrop there, the batter's eye, and takes one to his former team. And this one was absolutely pulverized. I'm not sure why everyone didn't think it was gone right off the bat. I don't know how anyone thought that one had a chance of staying in. Still no outs, 2 runs already on the board for the Rockies. Make it 3. Jazz Chisholm goes back-to-back with Hoskins. It is 4-3 Rockies. Colorado retakes the lead. And 2 of the best free agent signings of last year, already his 19th home run. And we've seen Jazz just be phenomenal all year long. And here he is yet again, mashing baseballs every place he goes. Pick it up in the bottom half of the 4th inning, and to end the inning again, a runner caught stealing as Drew Romo, sending in his Gold Glove application, catches 2 runners back-to-back, ways to end the inning. And we keep this one at 4-3. And for not for long, however, Ezequiel Tovar says 4-3 is a little boring. How about 6-3? As already the 3rd home run by the Rockies hit today, and it's not even halfway through this one. 428, $1.09 off the bat. Ezequiel Tovar, the price keeps going up. Fantastic 2 seasons ago. Pretty good last year. Having a really, really, really good 2027. Nolan Jones showing off the eye. The next batter, he's going to be walked, and that's going to do it for DL Hall. Craig Counsell comes out to let him know that the starter is done. And that's going to bring in Nestor Cortez Jr., Nasty Nestor, and a 6.46 ERA. Not too nasty. However, he does retire at the side scoreless for the Rockies, so no more damage done in that inning. Strikeout for Bubic brings up Jazz Chisholm next, and he's going to welcome Nestor Cortez, and deja vu all over again. Puts one into about the same area he hit his last one. Another home run for Jazz. You like Jazz? 20 home runs for Chisholm, 100 even off the bat. And one of the biggest stars to come through Colorado since, let's name them. You have Arenado, Story, probably better than Story, even with Story's good seasons. He's in the ranks of the Tulowitzkis and the Matt Hollidays and the Larry Walkers, I think. And we could have a really, really good guy out here in left field. Look at that bullet! Doing it on both sides of the diamond. Hitting dingers, throwing out runners. Nothing cooler than a guy that just gets you a guy that does both. 10 hits apiece, 7 runs, however, for the Rockies. We head into the top of the 7th inning. Ezequiel Tovar said, Jazz got 2. I'll do 2. He goes deep. He makes this one an 8-3 ball game. We are beating up on the Brewers. This could be a good turning point. We've kind of treaded water, kept ourselves in the mix, haven't fallen too far behind, but after this game, it just could be a big momentum swing for the series. And you had Bubic, who gave up 3 runs early in this ball game. Did you think he was going to be out there in the 7th? He has really settled in, gets a double play of right there. And that's going to keep him in this one. He could potentially go through 7, and that's exactly what you need at this point of the season from your 4th starter. Chisholm back up. Chisholm won't be a home run this time, but it's going to be a triple. As falling over in center field is Chourio, chugging around second base is Jazz Chisholm, and he'll easily be at third base. No real idea of going home with it, but 2 home runs in a triple, total base king. Only the 2nd triple from Jazz. He's too busy hitting them out to get too many triples, so I guess that makes sense. Later on in the inning, Drew Romo, right field, is going to be caught. Chisholm's going to test, and that's going to be the 9th run for the Rockies. 9-3, Colorado putting on a beating. And we will fast forward here. In the bottom of the 9th, James Karinchak gets to the last couple of innings. Grounder to Hoskins, fittingly, hit a home run, tied the game up at 3. He's going to end it as well. And the Rockies found themselves down 1-3, storm back and score 8 unanswered and win this one at 9-3. A big win against a team in a similar position to us at this point in the season. And again, only a few games back of the wild card, which is cool. 13 hits total for the Rockies, 3 of them coming from Chisholm, especially against a couple lefties as well. You don't expect that. Double from Amador and Hernandez, triple from Jazz, 2 home runs from Tovar, 2 home runs for Chisholm, a homer for Hoskins, and Bubic, 11 hits, but only 3 runs allowed. He went 7. Yelich had a pair of hits, Castellanos a pair of hits, Mitchell and Black doing some damage in the bottom of the lineup. Really kept them at bay. Only 2 extra base hits given up all day to the Brew Crew, and you saw most of them, if not all of them. DL Hall, 6 runs through 4 innings. The bullpen gave up a run each between Cortez, Richards, and Pyops, and Devin Williams came in for an inning. You just saw right there that going out with an injury was Ceddanne Rafaela, so that's going to force Brenton Doyle back up to the big leagues. Rafaela has been doing a fantastic job for us in center field, but unfortunately he gets injured. He's going to be out for a little bit, and Brenton Doyle is going to come right back in and take his spot back. And as we're looking, actually I lied. It's going to be Benny Montgomery. We're still going to roll with Montgomery over what's-his-face, Doyle. So I jumped the gun there. Spoiler alert, Doyle does find himself back on the team. But look at this. We've lost our last 10 games in a row after that Brewers game. So not a turning point for the better for us at all. 33-51 as we have done a complete nosedive. We cannot afford this. Now we have the San Francisco Giants up to Colorado, and they have beaten us 5-3, 6-2, and we're really trying to snap this 10-game losing streak we find ourselves in. But Benny Montgomery is going to be getting the start here, and I don't think it's his major league debut, is it? It might be. Have we called up Montgomery before? I think we called him up last year, no? I'm getting confused. Either way, Bud Leonard, what's up, kid? His first season, not his debut. He's doing well. Did not do well on that Jung-Hoo Lee pitch. That ball was clobbered. Absolutely tattered. And that's going to be a home run. 450 for Jung-Hoo Lee. He's not a power hitter, but definitely taking advantage of the altitude up here, the elevation in Colorado. Bud Leonard's going to come right back and get a strikeout and a fastball. And 1 run for the Giants, and that is going to do it. 1 hit on that home run, and this will bring up the Rockies lineup for the first time. They will be facing off against Mike Soroka. 16 games started this year, a 5.44 ERA, and just the type of pitcher that you can try to go and get your win against. Promising career, had a couple of really good seasons as a youngin'. Came up about when he was like 20 years old, but had 2 Achilles tears. Tore his Achilles tendon twice, the same one, 2 times. So a career that's been derailed and is trying to find some success here in San Francisco. Strikes out Chisholm, walks Nolan Jones, and Teoscar Hernandez is going to lay into this one, and it's going to find the hole into the outfield. 2 on for the Rockies brings up Youngkiel Fernandez, and the power threat. What can he do to try to keep the good times rolling here in Colorado? First pitch, he will receive, 2 runners on, and he's going to go back up the middle, tie this ball game up. Teoscar's going to take third base. Coming in to score is Nolan Jones with no throw as they try to get Teoscar being greedy, and it's runners on the corners, 2 down. 1-1 ball game. Youngkiel Fernandez coming through in the clutch like he usually does. We've seen some big timely hits from Youngkiel. A couple walk-off home runs in his career, a couple walk-off hits, and even though it's the first inning, can't get a walk-off there, a big hit. Ezequiel Tovar struggles with that slider down and away, and they get him yet again, and it's going to strand the runner on third base. 1-1 ball game as Colorado ties it back up. 2 hits for the Rocks. Bud Leonard, he's going to meet Bryce Eldridge, and Bryce Eldridge was not nice to Bud Leonard, and he takes him deep into the bullpen, 3-1. It is the San Francisco Giants taking the lead. A team that Bud Leonard is familiar with, had his first career game, his first career start against this Giants team with many of the same players he's facing today, and they've been doing their homework. Gets the strikeout of Marco Luciano there, his second of the ball game. And look at this pitch. Gets him on the curveball. 1,800 spins per minute. 8-inch pitch break, and it just falls right off the table. And no way you're getting that if you're Luciano. As he goes down hacking. Drew Gilbert, the lefty, they traded Kyle Harrison to the Mets for this guy. He's going to test Montgomery and just get over his head. Even with Doyle out there, I don't think anyone gets that. Just the perfect hit. So hard on a line straight at you, you weren't going to be able to get it. And he's going to end up on third base. Drew Gilbert, big hit. His 3rd triple of the season. Elliot Ramos hitting under the Mendoza line, and don't tell him that as he goes liftoff. And just like that, a blink of an eye, 4 runs come across the score. Already the 3rd home run hit. Coors? Yeah, a little Coors action here. And Elliot Ramos, look at this. Bink. Bye. See ya. Thanks for playing. I appreciate ya. Payday. As that one clears into the concourse. And we're still not done here because 5 runs given up. We only got 1 out here in the second. Leonard Rever, a little bit of a strikeout artist, is going to get his 2nd strikeout of the inning, 3rd overall, and then he's going to whiff Taylor Walls. So 3 strikeouts over 2 home runs and 4 runs given up total. So a mixed bag of an inning. Some things you like, some things you hate. Willie McIver strikes out, and I think that's Zach Veen getting caught trying to take second base, and not what you want, especially with that inning that you just gave up pitching-wise. And Blake Sable guns down Zach Veen. I was correct, and that was tough. Benny Montgomery, I believe this is his debut, as we're going to see the sinker. As welcome to the big leagues, Benny Montgomery, the 2021 first-round pick, I believe 8th overall for the Rockies, right before I got here. And it took him a little bit. We're here in 2027, marinated for about 6 seasons, and now he's finally ready to make his debut. He's going to put this one into right field, and this will fall gently into the glove of Santander out there. So no hit in his first try. Ben Montgomery, officially welcome to the big leagues. Teoscar Hernandez is a 7.78 OPS, one of the tops on our team, and it's just going to keep going up. This one roped right off the base of that right field wall. Going to bring in the run. He's going to stand on second base and chipping away at that lead as we make it 5-2 now. The 19th double for Hernandez results in an RBI. Young Keel, however, is going to go down swinging, and that will do it for the inning. Teoscar, big hit, brings Rockies a little bit closer. Marco Luciano, big curveball, and McIver throws this one away, and with a lot of grass out there, Veen came in to help back up the throw, but they threw it over him. So not only did you overthrow the first baseman, you overthrew the backup. And a strikeout turns into a triple. And again, these things are just keep rolling. This is the stuff like our first 2 years of the Rockies we've seen like them do. But it hasn't happened in a while. Montgomery ranging back. Whoa, what a catch. Benny Montgomery gets to that one. Drew Gilbert doesn't get him a second time. A little payback after Gilbert hit one way over his head. But look at this catch by Montgomery. I think he flipped his wrist. He caught this one backwards. Yes, he did. Wow, looking like Mike Trout out there playing good defense with wearing 27 on his back. That's an incredible catch. Wow. Taylor Walls says, go do it again. Montgomery says, almost, as it hits off the heel of his glove. And toss it back into the infield. Almost had it there in the 5th inning. But close but no cigar for Montgomery. Let's see how close it was. Walls puts it into center field. And ballsy play by Montgomery. Yeah, right off the heel of his glove. That's tough. Tovar ranging. Going to stop. Fire. Throws. That's a great Gold Glove caliber play by our shortstop. And Price keeps going up. Per usual, right? Montgomery back for a second at bat. This is going to go up the middle. And hey, there's a hit. Big day for Benny Montgomery. Highlight play in the field. Great effort. And then also your base hit in your second plate appearance. Shout out Benny Montgomery. Keep that baseball, young man. You're going to remember that moment for the rest of your life. Brings up Jazz Chisholm. 21 home runs for Jazz. They're going to check on Montgomery. He does have a good amount of speed, one of his big calling cards. So they're going to devote some attention to first base, but they should have kept it on Jazz because he takes a pitch outside of the zone the other way. Absolute animal. This guy's a fucking freak, dude. Belts it into left field. Coors, even though he's shown that he does not need the Coors effect to hit bombs. And he's having a career year. Not even at the All-Star break yet. And he is already up into the 20s for home runs. Runner goes, and a hit and run executed to perfection. Santander throws it into third base. But in sliding safely is Nolan Jones. Just like that. Don't look now. 6-4 now, Rockies. As the hits keep on coming. And the good times keep on a-rolling. Brings up Yanquiel Fernandez, who can take the lead by himself with just one good swing of the bat. Pitches in. And won't quite take the lead, but much like his hit in the first inning, going to go up the middle and drive in Nolan Jones. And 6-5, Rockies offense coming right back, like we said, as a big 5th inning for the Rocks. is matching the big second inning for the Giants. Zach Veen on a 1 for 2 on the day, a 1-0 count. And this is going to go into center field. This is going to bring in a run, and the throw comes into the plate. Not in time. Tie ball game. Zach Veen coming up clutch, proving why us sticking with him in right field was the right choice. Just goes right back up the middle, a contact-oriented swing, and that's going to drive Soroka out of this ball game. 6 runs given up by Big Mike Soroka, and that's going to do it for his day. We'll see who's coming out of the pen in just a moment. Big 5th inning for the Rockies, chasing the starter, getting 4 or 5 runs on the board. Nicky Smooches, Nick Pivetta comes in, former Red Sox. That's why his glove is all red. And second appearance, 6 innings. Third appearance, he's tossed 6 innings so far, presumably all out of the bullpen, and doing so here again. Going to keep Willie McIver in this game, giving Drew Romo the day off today, and fastballs taken for a strike. Big hit, big opportunity for McIver, and as a backup, has not done as great of a job in his second year backing up than his first year. And that was the big hit waiting to happen. But Bryce Eldridge, being 9'4", definitely doesn't help there as he jumps up and snags that that hit right out of the air. And that's going to do it. Rockies come back and tie this one up here in the 5th. It's 6-6 now. 10 hits for the Rockies. Genesis Cabrera, one of our free agent signings from last year, one of our bright spots on this team, gets the strikeout and keeps that 6th inning scoreless as the Rockies bats. You got Montgomery, Chisholm, Amador, who did damage in the 5th inning. And Jazz gets an absolute pitch to mash. 103 off the bat, 43-degree launch angle. Literally hit that 42 degrees or any other degree than that, and that's a home run. As close to a home run here as you can get with that swing profile. Absolutely wild. Jung-Hoo Lee is going to go down swinging on the slider by T.J. Antone, another one of our big pickups in free agency, and this one holds steady at 6 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Nolan Jones against Nick Pivetta here to begin things, as Pivetta got a couple quick innings under his belt and is looking for another one as going up and chasing that pitch is Nolan Jones. He won't have to chase nothing here. Slider absolutely belted. Coors! And that scoreboard lights up again. Finally taking the lead, Nolan Jones. Doing Nolan Jones things here. 14 home runs for him. Hasn't been quite the season we thought he'd have offensively, but still doing well. Batting third for us. And smokes that one into the outfield, into the seats in a souvenir for him. Santander, defensive swing and a ball that almost hit him, and he ends up dumping it into left field. So, sometimes you get lucky. It is what it is. I have a decision to make here. A couple lefties coming up. We have Ryan Weathers ready to go, and that's where we're going to go. Ryan Weathers coming into the game. Through 33 games, as a 3.19 ERA has been fantastic for us ever since we got him from the Marlins a couple of years ago. And if the season doesn't come around, we might be on the move again. Weathers is going to catch us one on the fly and tacking up. I don't think anyone knew what was going on. I don't think Weathers caught it. He saw the runner was going, thought that he didn't know that he caught it because it was close. Runner goes, one of the most bizarre plays I've seen, so it is what it is. It's just awkward and weird, but now all of a sudden runner on scoring position. Luciano is going to pop out and end this 8th inning. Veen's under it to put it away, and Rockies trying to hold strong. Bullpen has done a fantastic job for us, and despite the weirdness, no run score for the Rockies. Or the Giants, excuse me. No run score for the Rockies in that last inning. Now it's Dre Jameson time. And closing time indeed here in Colorado. Trying to end this one where it lays. 3.33 ERA. Has only blown a couple of saves this year. Gets a big strikeout on Elliot Ramos right there. Makes it 2 outs And let's look at this pitch right on the inside part of the plate. 99 on the black. How are you going to hit that? You don't, but you do got to make an effort. Into the outfield, and Veen cuts it off. So it will be a base runner with 2 outs. Now the leading runner is at the plate. Go ahead run, as they would say, because I'm not that smart. I didn't have that right in the memory bank out the gate. 1-2 count. Taylor Walls, 2 for 4 on the day. Make it 2 for 5? No, but Guess doesn't get that call. Gonna throw the curveball low. Full count. Runner will be off. This is going to be dangerous, especially with all the outfield grass we have. Defensive swing. Pops it up. Amador back, and that will do it. So this episode had 2 wins, bookending a 10-game losing streak. We'll see how the rest of the month plays out, but it's not looking great. A team that maybe could be on the outside looking in of a wild card berth is now looking more at the first overall pick than anything, most likely. But a fantastic win. This Rockies team has fought all year. We've seen them have multiple walk-offs. We've seen them have multiple big performances. And we see it right here, coming back and winning. You had 9 hits for the Giants, with Jung-Hoo Lee being one of the notables. A double by Walls, a triple by Gilbert, home runs by Eldridge, Lee, and Ramos. Soroka, 4 2/3, 6 runs given up. Nick Pivetta went the rest of the way, 3 1/3. Ended up getting tabbed with the loss. Chisholm had a hit, that being the home run from him, and a bunch of good production in the middle of our lineup. However, the back end of our lineup, other than Montgomery, did not get a single hit. So it's all the top guys doing top guy things. Leonard went 5, gave up 6 with the bullpen. Fantastic. 4 scoreless innings to close things out there. So we end the month here, and it's 35-52 is the record, is what it is, with 9-19 in this month. It just is crazy how things happen. Now tied for last in the West after not being last. Again, had that 10-game losing streak after the Brewers game, which really sunk our season. Potentially, it really sunk our season. You see that big stretch right there past that Milwaukee win and the Giants win at the on Sunday. It's just crazy. We did bring Dollander back up. However, he was doing really well in AAA, and now we're on to July, and now trading for Sean Murphy. Good thing we didn't pull that trigger, because now we're going to be trading away some of our star players, it looks like. So that's going to do it here. That was June. Unfortunately, did not go our way, but we will see you next time here with the Colorado Rockies. Thank you for watching.